Francis Ngannou has definitely earned his heavyweight championship belt, but not without creating a few rivals on the way. One up-and-coming opponent from his past is keen on taking that belt from him. Here's why the freak athlete, Ciryl Gane, poses a very real threat to Ngannou's title reign. For those of you that don't know, Gane and Ngannou have met before. The two were actually former training partners in France under the same coach. While Gane is much newer to the fight game, he's got a lot of potential and a lot of hype around him, especially after his technical knockout victory against Derek the Black Beast Lewis for the interim heavyweight title. During his fight with Lewis, he performed with a technical proficiency that Lewis was not ready for, constantly wearing down the lead leg and trying to keep the fight about striking rather than taking it to the ground. Gane executed his fight plan perfectly. Despite the weight disadvantage, he was able to land some serious heavy damage strikes against his opponent. He moved in a manner that made it seem like he belonged in a lower weight class, thus establishing himself as a true freak athlete. Gane is everything Greg Hardy was supposed to be. Hardy, an ex-Dallas Cowboy, was an amazing athlete, but a mediocre fighter. Gane is on the same level in terms of athleticism as Hardy, but so much better as a fighter. He played soccer and basketball growing up and was good enough to be a pro in either sport. Although instead of playing with a ball, he decided to play with his fists. He honed his skills under retired fighter Fernand Lopez. Under Lopez, he became a deadly fighter and exceptional professional. Lopez is no stranger to champions. Before Francis Ngannou moved to the United States, he was under the wing of Lopez for almost 6 years. Lopez knows exactly what it takes to build a champion because he's already built two. With his protege taking the interim heavyweight title, it put them on a collision course with the prodigal son, Ngannou. Now, if you haven't heard, Ngannou and Lopez aren't exactly on the best terms. Lopez has spoken out about his frustration with Ngannou, claiming that he gets no credit for helping Ngannou out so much in his early years of fighting. There's been a lot of speculation around the two that their beef is much deeper, but it's really all hearsay past that. Dana White in particular is pretty excited to pit the two French fighters against each other. He said on record before that the storyline itself is like a movie, and it's hard to argue with them. The two former training partners with the same origin but on different paths meet in the ring for the championship belt. One decided to leave, one decided to stay. It's a movie, and I'm sure everyone wants to see how it ends. Ngannou has a record of 16-3-0 while Gane has a perfect 10-0. So it's not like there's an outstanding favorite for the fight, but because of Gane's crazy athleticism, it looks like he's been given the edge leading to the fight. An interesting point you can extrapolate is that Gane recently decimated Lewis, an opponent that Ngannou lost to back in 2018. So by deductive reasoning, you could say that Gane is the better fighter, right? Well, not necessarily. As it stands right now, Ngannou is 6'4" at 250 pounds. Gane, on the other hand, is 6'4" at 245 pounds. It's almost scary how alike these two are. The two fighters are only 3 years apart in age, and they trained under the same coach. What we have here is a classic mirror match. Statistically, Gane is more the advanced striker. In terms of percentage, he's thrown and landed more strikes than Ngannou. While the champ statistically likes to go to the ground more, their fighting styles are very identical. If Gane does take the belt, as we can imagine, it's because he's more athletic and throws cleaner punches. He's approached all his fights with the same poise and stand-up approach. In his last fight against Lewis, he put his entire skill set on display. The lead kicks, the striking, the ground and pound. He's got stone hands and knows it. Ngannou, on the other hand, seems like the heavier hitter. He may not be as accurate with his striking, but he's got some seriously scary power, both on the ground and on his feet. Some of his biggest knockouts were glancing blows that completely crippled some of the toughest opponents in the UFC. A la Stipe Miocic, anyone? All it would take is one uppercut to cripple Gane. If you're not careful, he will bum rush you with a flurry of fists that will be too big and too fast to counter. However, say Gane does survive the first onslaught of fists, Ngannou has put in some serious time on the mats. He's evolved since his earlier years and can just as easily give anyone work on the ground as well. Regardless, the history of these fighters will make for an interesting story. Ngannou has a number of opponents in line. Miocic is looking to complete their trilogy of fights and reclaim the belt. John Jones is also in the wings for a heavyweight title fight. It's going to be a long and hard couple of years for the heavyweight champ. The cool thing about Gane is that he didn't have a traditional path to the UFC. He was studying business for most of his young adult life. He took on Muay Thai as a hobby, and it quickly sprouted into an opportunity to fight professionally. What some people don't realize is that he's really green in the fight game. Compared to some of the other fighters in the UFC who have been training all their life, Gane is a novice. His freak athleticism and giant frame afforded him success in Muay Thai and made it easier to transition to MMA. At 31 years old and only in your third year of the UFC, that's uncommon to say the least. I suppose it helps that he competes in the heavyweight division. Fighting usually involves a huge amount of technique and thinking. In the lighter and faster divisions, it's a game of chess. In the heavyweight division, it's about durability, athleticism, and power. To his credit, it's these outstanding traits that can make Gane such a great fighter for the years to come. He moves like a middleweight but has the attributes of a heavyweight. That is what makes him so dang effective and why everyone believes in his rise to superstardom. Even the biggest Ngannou fans are scared of what Gane can do in the ring. While nothing has been set in stone, Gane has made it known that he wants to bring Ngannou back home to France to fight for the title of the undisputed heavyweight champion. It would be such a cool full circle to their story, to fight back in the city that made them. I mean, come on, they literally trained in the MMA factory. Dana White was right. This isn't a story, it's a movie. The goal is by the end of 2021, but nothing has been drawn out quite yet. While the storm brews for that movie, there still seems to be another one conjured up by Daniel Cormier. It's no secret that Jon Jones is waiting around for his return, this time as a heavyweight contender. Cormier seems to think that Jon Jones is the answer that everyone is looking for. Jones is widely accepted as one of the greatest of all time. He's done work in the lighter divisions and he's got the size to compete in the heavyweight class. If anyone is to defeat the athleticism of Gane, it would be another fighter equally as fast and skilled at striking. This is what Cormier had to say. This is crazy coming from me. Jon Jones beat me twice. I'm an athlete. He's seen the speed. He's seen the footment and the angles. He's had to deal with guys like that before. Now, can he handle that weight class and above? I don't know. But I truly believe that Jones is one of the guys that truly can give Ciryl Gane problems, but I don't know who beats him. I think Francis has his hands full. Thinking about it, he's got a point. The thing about Gane is that he's fought typically heavyweights up to this point. People he's faster than. Fighters that relied more heavily on their power and endurance. Gane gave the fighters speed, technique, and power and speed. It's like he's had an edge in all of his opponents so far. Put him against Jon Jones? Yeah, we're talking about an even playing field now. But as fun as a fight as that would seem to be, Gane and Ngannou are first on the agenda. Then we have to figure out what's going to happen with Jones. Jones hasn't fought in 2 years and hasn't come close to coming up with a pay agreement with the UFC. He's not retired, just greedy. The $10 million offer that UFC gave him wasn't enough, and Dana White has gone on record to say that he's not even worried about Jones till 2022. When the time comes and Jones is ready to fight Gane, I'm sure he'll end up with a big payday for both. And us. They getting paid in millions? Well, we get paid with top quality entertainment. With that wraps up the video. Thanks for watching. See you again next time, and keep your chins tucked, champs.